Hey ladies, so it's day 4 of the 5-day Who Is She Starter Journal mini course. So day 4 is already here. What have you learned about yourself? What have you gleaned about yourself? Where's your frustration? What's stopping you? Where is it stopping you? And if you really take a look at digging a little bit deeper, then you'll find out the why of why something might be stopping you or even challenging you. It doesn't even have to be like you're totally stuck. It could be like you're just challenged or feel uncomfortable about what you're thinking about yourself or for yourself. Or maybe you're just feeling defeated right now. Maybe you're feeling confused and just, I don't have a path, or a little bit frustrated by all that. But I can assure you that if you continue to do the work and stop questioning, like no second guessing yourself, if you just do the work and let whatever is in there come out. That's why I talk about journaling a lot, because if you let your heart speak through your pen or pencil, then eventually, after all the I don't know, I'm not worthy enough, I don't have it, what it takes kind of thinking, it will eventually turn into, oh my gosh, I did do something good, or I did do something right, or I was brave then. And you begin to uncover these little gems that if you stay stuck in your head all the time, instead of getting it down on paper, then you end up in frustration or the blame game or shame or all of that kind of stuff. Don't go there, because this isn't the time. Excuse me. This isn't the time. We want to be in a place of curiosity. That's, I guess maybe that's the word for this program of Who Is She, is just be curious. Be curious about where your thoughts are coming from, because change isn't easy. And you can just keep asking yourself, what am I resisting, and why am I resisting it? How can I lean into this change that's coming up, or that I feel is happening, as I've described in earlier talks about. I can feel that there's something some change coming. I'm not really sure what it is, but I want to ask it. I want to talk to it and find out more about it. So transitions, we go through these as women, especially all through our lives, right? We're teenagers, we're single women, then we get married, or go off with a partner. If we choose to have children or are able to have children, then we have children. We become these different versions of ourselves all along, and that's really, quite natural. That's natural. Well, there's still transitions. You're still moving from, it's really a whole different way of being, from a single person to a wife, to a mother, to a auntie, to a grandmother. These are transitions that as women we're supposed to take naturally, but no one's teaching us how to do this stuff. There is no manual on parenthood. There is no manual on how to how are you transitioning from being a single person to living with somebody 24/7. Listen, that's not easy, and it is a transition. So notice the transitions that you, as a woman, no matter what your age, the kind of transitions that you've been through, going from high school to college to university, and having to figure out what you want to do with your life. I mean, that alone is a huge transition, right? A lot of people feel like it's a big responsibility to have to make a decision of what I want to take at university when I don't even know who I am. Like, how how does that happen? So we have to be gentle with ourselves. Again, this is another theme for this whole program. Be gentle and just be curious and just keep asking why. So this is day 4 of the mini program, the mini course on Who Is She Starter Journal. So we're going to go into the last of the questions. If you're ready, let's get started. All right, so here we go. This is day number 4 of the mini challenge, the mini course. Question number 1. Who inspires me at my age and why? And I like this question, and I like to put questions in about that because I talk a lot about in self-growth, I talk a lot about going in because we want to stop the external, the desire for external achievement. And this question of who inspires you at your age and why is asking you to look outside yourself, but it's not asking you to look outside yourself for something that you are going after or going to attain. It kind of teaches us to look outside ourselves and get curious or look to other people about things that they're doing or ways that they're being, to be observant about the world, if you will, to observe others and look at things that you admire about somebody else and that you might want to try and call forth in your own life. And by that, this is what I mean. So I have a small program that I call the Dream Team. And the Dream Team is from a program that I went through when I was living in Arizona. And it was a very long, very intense leadership development program. But they talked about having a group of people around you, either imagined or real, that were your champions or that had something about them that you were drawn to. And what that does when you look to outside of yourself, to what inspires you or what draws you towards somebody, generally it's because you like that about somebody because you want more of that in your life. I often joke with my Polish friends about this because Poles are not known to smile. And so when I'm doing this part of the workshop with a group of Polish women, I always say, you may, when I say who inspires you at your age and why, you may look to somebody that smiles a lot and that shows their teeth because Poles don't show their teeth. So that's something that you can call forth or not work on, but work to layering these ways of being into your life that will bring out that best version of yourself. I don't know if I explained that clear enough, but that's where we're going for. So, for instance, who inspires me at my age and why? So, who inspires me at my age? Let me tell you about a couple people. Ellen DeGeneres, alive. She's alive. Not all my people are alive. Ellen DeGeneres, she's an amazing philanthropist. And I have always been one to give of my time as well as financial resources to things that really speak to me. but she did it in a very quiet and gentle way, without any bells and whistles, without anybody knowing it. I have a part of my business that's called Pay It Forward Sisterhood. And that came about from her, from wanting to call forth that in myself. How can I give back to the world in a bigger way? I can do that by women supporting my programs, and I give back coaching to them. So that's one thing that I learned from Ellen DeGeneres. I love the fact that she's quick-witted. I have often bit my tongue about those things, and now, after watching her and seeing her flow, the same with Drew Barrymore. If any of you have seen the Drew Barrymore show, she is just, you just want her to be your best girlfriend. And that's how I envision, or that's how I like to be with my close friends and relatives, is that I want to be that person that people want to hang out and have a cup of coffee with, that they know that I'm present, that they know that they are the most important person in the room. Those kinds of things are important to me, and that's what I want to bring to others. Let's see, one other person, the other person that inspires me is Martha Stewart. And Martha Stewart has inspired me for decades. And she inspired me because of her creativity, and because she took a very small thing and focused on it. And I have lots of things going on that I like to do, and therefore I struggle with focusing on one thing. Martha Stewart has many things going on, but she drills down on one thing until she's got it, and she's got it done right. So that's what I learned from her. I read all of her books. I, listen to all of her interviews about how I can bring that forth in my life, how I can concentrate more of that in my life, so that I can be that kind of person to myself and to others. So that's what I mean by that question of who inspires me at my age and why. Next up is question number 2. If I could choose one word, and I think this is hard, if I could choose one word to define myself, what would it be? If I could choose one word to describe myself, what would it be? And let me tell you, I don't want any trash talking here. Like you may, come up with, something right away, and it might not be pleasant, might not be nice. Don't go there. That's not the place. If I could choose one word to define myself, what would it be? So my word to define myself, I use in my email address, I use on my website, I use in pretty much everything that I do, and on my Facebook page, on my LinkedIn page, I call myself the Chief of Inspiration. That's what I believe my role is in the world. Like I do. I only think that I'm here to inspire others to do something different, to try something new, to think of something in a different way, to do something for the fucking first time, right? I mean, that's pretty much the word that describes me. And this isn't something that I just decided and it just, I woke up one day and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be that person. This is something that I had to grow into. As I knew that there was, even as a younger person, I knew that there was something about me, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And I bet that if you look to your past and even your high school days or your college days or your young adult days, like, why do people hang around with you? You're the glue that keeps everybody together. You're the calm in the storm. You are the person that gets things done. Like, people come to you for a reason, and look to that when you're talking about or thinking about that one word that I could use to define myself. What would it be? That one word, like I've recently changed my email address to Mary.inspires, because I want my emails to portray that. I want me to portray that. I want when people come to me for something, I want them to come to me because they want to be inspired to do something different. So ask yourself, when you're thinking about this word, ask yourself, what do people come to me for? And if you're struggling with that, then ask some friends. Why? What's the word for me? And for those of you that follow me, you know that I did that a couple of years ago, where I went to Facebook and said to people, what's the one word that you would use to describe me? And the crazy thing was that people said brave, that I was brave. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? There's not a brave bone in my body. Well, I will tell you what a lesson that was. I had another friend that did that same thing, and what came back from her was that people said that she was beautiful, and there wasn't anything about her that believed that. So never underestimate the power of people that you're close with that might help you to define that word. Go to Facebook or send 10 people the same message. I'm going through this program. Could you please send me one word that you would use to best describe me? And you might just be surprised what people say. And then you get to have a conversation with them about why. Some of these things are pretty interesting. We don't often see ourselves. People see us differently than we see ourselves. And those words can be incredibly transformational, especially when you're going through a program like this, right? It's just going to open your eyes just a little bit more, and that's what we want, just a little bit. We don't need like this. Wah! We want little bites. That's all we need is little bites. Got it? Okay. Question number 3. This is the final question. Who is she becoming? The quote underneath that is, I love the person I have become because I fought to be her. It's a fight. It's a struggle. It's a lot. I went through a lot to be this person. I went through a lot. And although, I often say to myself, I wish some of that stuff didn't happen to me. But if it hadn't of, I would be somebody else. Because this person that's sitting right in front of you has gone through a lot of really ugly things, hurtful, damaging, traumatizing things. But I've also experienced crazy abundance, joy, career transformations, like lots of stuff. Who is she becoming? I'm not asking you to like spit that out in an answer. I'm gonna be ... I'm not asking for that. I'm asking to let your pen flow across the paper. Because sometimes the things that's holding us back isn't the next big step. It's the baggage that we are carrying. that drags us down. And if we can go through a process like this and just release that a little bit, maybe you're not ready to drop it down on the ground and walk away from it, but you can look at it through a different lens. You can look at the woman that you are right now through a different lens by defining that one word, or looking to what inspires you or puts you in a place of awe in another person. What's the thing? If that person was your best friend, what is the word that you would use to describe her? Most likely, that is a word that you would want to write down under this question of who is she becoming? Because if you are drawn to somebody for some reason, then that is something that you may be getting ready to call forth in yourself. It's just a thought. It just might be time. By writing this stuff down, we can release a lot of this old baggage, because those are stories that happen to you, and I'm not trying to minimize them by any stretch of the imagination. The things that happened to me were traumatic, but I got through them. I'm looking to become the stronger version of myself. I'm looking to become the woman that has clarity and has a path to purpose or path to passion. Because I do believe that if you are passionate about something that you're doing, that it turns into a life filled with purpose through that passion. That's why I'm here with you. I am passionate about the work that I do. I am passionate about the fact that I know that I inspire others to do things that they believe they cannot do. I know that about myself because of all the work that I have done. Small steps over time. That's why this is a year-long program. That woman that you are becoming, where is her passion? Where does she draw her energy from? Where does she seek stillness and reflection? Where does she give back to those around her in a way that fills her cup? That fills her cup. Not others. Fills her cup. Because as long as you're filling your cup, the people that need to be around you or in your sphere of influence or in your community that you may be serving, the people that need to be there and hear you or experience you will come. This is a time to be curious, ladies. I never really liked that term, let your inner child speak. But yeah, let her speak. Let this knowing, because you already know this, you may have not recognized it or have stuffed it down because of all this baggage that you've stuffed it down for so many years that you're having a tough time letting her speak. But she knows, and so do you. You just have to ask her. So tomorrow on day 5, we are going to take a look at, I've got some notes here in front of me, like claiming the future self. So we're going to put all of this together, all of these notes, So I want you to spend some time, hopefully between now and then, I want you to spend some time with yourself. We're going to grab all of these notes and take a look at it. What stepping into this new version of you means. And I can't wait to meet her. I hope you're as excited as I am about who she is becoming. I am super excited to meet her. Okay? So I'll see you again tomorrow. Ciao.